Brennan back with another Slate review, and today I'm doing a tier list of Creed. I do like Creed. I feel like I started liking Creed unironically, and now I like legit actually love Creed. But I was kind of torn on whether or not I should make this video, and then I was like, maybe I could make one. Like, what if I made one? Um, and maybe this review will help you to don't stop dancing kind of deal. I know this is just my sacrifice. I know some of these reviews are kind of long, and when you listen to me do this, you could start feeling a little rusted and weathered. Um, but sit back as I go through the Creed discography. Hopefully, it won't feel like my own prison in here. But are you ready? I'm about to take you higher with arms wide open. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. There's that fun intro. I was like, how many Creed songs can I shove into an intro? And I hope that is sufficient for you. But we're just going to dive right into it. I'm only doing the 4 LPs that they have. I know there's a couple greatest hits um, compilations. I have the greatest hits Creed CD. But I figure we'll go through. We got My Own Prison, Human Clay, um, Weathered, and then Full Circle. And we'll just go through these. I'm not going to do the Human Clay Deluxe Edition, but yeah, let's just dive right into it. So, in 1996, Creed released their debut album called My Own Prison. I was not alive yet when this came out. That's all right. Still slaps. Ode is something I'm like, I don't know how Ode did not make the greatest hits album because it is freaking like the opening riff is sick. I think it's great. Torn's great. My Own Prison is awesome. One is fantastic. Yeah, My Own Prison. It's a pretty good album. It's a pretty good album. I will say, don't like how Scott uses the Lord's name in vain on "What's This Life For," but in the greatest hits, it is edited, which I like better. But aside from that, My Own Prison is really a fantastic album. That being said, I think I'm going to slap it at A tier. I think it is some of their best work. My Own Prison is, and yeah, I really do like it. My Own Prison, the title track I play quite frequently, and when I was going through each album this week, I'm like, dang, Ode is freaking fantastic. I'm really a fan. Yeah. Moving on, are you ready? What if I transition to go to the next album and it's Human Clay? Say I'm crazy. Yeah, okay. I gotta chill out. So 2000, no, that's not 2000 or 1998. Sorry, excuse me. 1998, 1999, somewhere in that vein. Uh, Creed dropped Human Clay. Now, Human Clay got one of the weirdest album covers I've ever seen. Um, it's interesting. It is. I will give it that. It is interesting, but I will say this: this album is awesome. Um, I mean, are you ready? What if? What if is like divorced dad brain rot, and I'm here for it. I truly think it's awesome. Faceless Man is one I hadn't heard until this week. I'm like, that's actually pretty good. As well as Inside Us All is pretty good. Never Die is slept on. Higher, of course, with Arms Wide Open, of course. Human Clay. I think Human Clay is probably their best album. That being said, I'm throwing it at S tier. I'm trying to throw it at S tier. There we go. Sweet. I think Human Clay is their best album, and yeah, there's just a lot of great tracks on Human Clay, um, and not just the most well-known ones like with Arms Wide Open and Higher and What If. I think Faceless Man's really good as well. Are You Ready's good. Inside Us All's pretty good, and then the With Arms Wide Open with like string version. I think it's actually really well done too. Um, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good album. I'll say it's my favorite album if we're not putting the greatest hits into this because the greatest hits has a little bit from the first three albums. So anyway, moving on, 2000 we would get Weathered. Now, Weathered, Weathered's got kind of a strange album work. I will give it. I will say that right now. Who's got my back here? Okay. Oh no, but Weathered's not too shabby. Weathered's a pretty good album. Um, Bullets is like stupid heavy for some reason. I don't know why. One Last Breath. Hold Me Now. Come on over here. Like, I freaking love One Last Breath. Don't even know how many times I listened to that. My Sacrifice is great. I listened to that when I was younger. I really like that song. And Weathered is great. Don't Stop Dancing is also good. I think Weathered's a good album. I think it stands up for itself. It's not my favorite album of Creed. I just think there's great singles on it. Like One Last Breath is one of my favorite Creed songs. One of my favorite songs in general, honestly. As well as My Sacrifice and Weathered are both really good. It's just Weathered as a whole album. I don't think it's as good as Human Clay or My Own Prison. That being said, it's still a pretty good album. I'm throwing it at B tier. Moving on here, we go on a little bit of a long time. In 2008, we get Full Circle. Okay, Full Circle. I was alive when this album came out. I was five, like 5 or 6. So it's a little newer, a little newer. I'm not that old, even though I feel quite old. I'm 22, but I feel 52 a lot of the times. Yeah, doesn't really matter. We're not going to get into how old I feel. But I listened to this album fully the other night, and it's just not really a great album in my opinion. Um, it's just I don't know. Some of it's okay. I think Bread of Shame's all right. Rain is okay. It's just like I don't know. I'd have to listen through it again. Overcome's all right, but it's like just Full Circle's not their best work. It's by far my least favorite Creed album. That being said, I'm throwing it at D tier. Um, doesn't mean it's the worst album ever written. Um, it's just not my favorite. I think Human Clay, My Own Prison, and Weathered are better albums. Especially Human Clay, banger. And I got the Creed greatest hits. I always listen to that album. I listen to that album very frequently. Um, but yeah, Full Circle, just not my favorite. Um, but yeah, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. There's your discography review of Creed's studio albums, Human Clay, Non Prison, Weathered, and Full Circle. That is my opinion, my review on these 4 albums. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching this and putting up with me. And who knows, I might make a couple more of these videos. I'm kind of enjoying making these videos. So, but I love you guys. Jesus loves you more. He went to a cross for you, and he rose victoriously. You guys have a great day. God bless.